Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe down there and hit that bell. I'm gonna make this a pretty quick, easy video on how to take your rear subframe off of your G35 or 350Z. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. You guys can see I took the muffler tips off right now. You guys can see this is the setup that the previous owner had. Gaskets right there. The bolts really weren't that tight. I noticed I had a few air leaks probably on the exhaust because it sounded kind of weird when it was on the car. We'll retighten that up when we get this back. The reason why I'm taking off my rear subframe is because I want to redo a lot of the bushing, some of the arms as well, and also I want to wire wheel some of the rust down here. I'll show you guys. All right, so you guys can see got a little bit of rust up here, this corner over here. Really not that bad, surface rust. So I'm gonna drop the rear subframe and then probably save it for another day, and I'm going to tackle all the stuff, wire wheel everything, primer it, and then probably lay a little paint and then undercoat it. Probably use truck undercoating because I've heard it's the best. But right now we're gonna take off these two mufflers right here. We'll take off those. We're going to take off right here, this little bracket right here connecting where the brake line's at. We're going to take that off, and then we're going to take also the two bolts up there with the coils. You can see a little bit of rust around there. We'll be wire wheeling all that too, cleaning all that up, painting it, spraying some like neutralizer on it too as well, and just giving it a good clean. I'm going to take a lot of this plastic off, see if there's any more rust I have to figure out before. And also probably while this, like I said, while this thing's down, I'm going to redo the bushings. Yeah, that'd probably be it. Probably like I said, probably some control arms or whatever if I have to. Take them down and see how the condition is, and then obviously give this thing a good hose down. But right now my main focus is to take this thing off. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. All we gotta do is just take off a few bolts. Bolt there, bolt on that side, bolt there, bolt here as well. So as soon as we take all that off, then we'll be ready to drop this thing down. Let's take that off. Just got the resonator off. Let's see if there's any exhaust leaks on this thing. I mean, I'm just hearing so much noise. It looks good. What brand is this thing? Cool. Doesn't look bad though, looks still pretty clean. All right, now, since that is out of the way, we're pretty much almost set. We have to do coils on both sides and then the brake line connection, and we should be almost set. All right, guys, so I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. So the two bolts that you want to take off on the caliper are right down there and then there. So two bolts, take those off. What I did was just zip tie it. Don't zip tie it onto the brake line, but just zip tie it onto this you can see there's like clamp right here that's holding the brake line in place, bolted in, so I know I'll be safe there. So I did that, and then same with the other side too. And then coils, two right there, and pretty much dropped in. See that surface rust right there? We're gonna wire wheel all that off and clean it all up, make it look all nice. All right, so let's talk under here, what we have to do. All right, so you can see the diff is right here. We got the drive shaft right there we have to disconnect. And then we have our 4 bolts, one there, one here, one there, and then one on the other side as well. So we got to get those off as well. And yeah, we should be pretty much ready for this thing to drop down. Alright guys, so I just finished getting all 4 bolts out. So the drive shaft is disconnected pretty much now. Just getting ready to unscrew all these bolts around the perimeter and our rear. And then I also have to disconnect our e-brake lines as well. Gotta disconnect those. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, instead of messing around with the e-brake right now, I'm gonna just drop it, and then I'm gonna deal with the e-brake as I have it somewhat down.
Where am I going?
Alright guys, so I was having a little bit of difficulty trying to get the 4 bolts off. So I got the torch right now, I got my buddy Justin with me right now, so we're gonna hopefully get these bolts off together and get this done. So hopefully this does a trick. I don't know, these bolts are, they're pretty rusty, I'm not gonna lie. So alright guys, so I am back again. After I have to use my neighbor's impact gun to get these big massive bolts out. I mean, we tried it. The tools, hand tools, actually broke a tool from doing this, trying to get these bolts off. So yeah, this rear subframe's never been dropped before, so it is been sitting like this since the car came out. Yeah, but you use the gun, 18 volt. I mean, these things came right out, all 4 of them. So yeah, they're out. I'm just taking off these last 2 bolts right here above the support brace for the frame, and then also this little connection piece right here you have to take off. I still have to figure out how to get these e-brake lines off as well. Probably just gonna, like I said, probably gonna drop it first and then inspect it. Yeah, this thing's officially off pretty much. So I'm gonna continue taking the rest of these bolts off. Same with this side, just took off this bolt. We brought it only halfway down right there, just in case. So I'm gonna do the rest with the hand tools, and then this thing should be hopefully down. All right, so I just finished taking off these 2 bolts right here. You guys can see, pretty rusty. I'm just shaking. And just rust coming right down. Definitely all this is gonna end up getting replaced. Probably all new hardware too. Everything. I mean, this whole rear end is just gonna be refreshed and ready. This side, 2 bolts are out on this side as well too. As you guys can see, I got 1 more bolt right here to take off, but this one's off. Yeah, everything else is pretty much disconnected. E-brake lines, I don't know on that. I'm probably just gonna release this just a little bit so I can get the drive shaft out. And then, yeah, I don't know. The drive shaft seems pretty wedged and stuck in there, or rusted on or something. And definitely the car's a little too low for me to start working the hammer. So I'm just gonna release this electrical connection right there. Electrical connection disconnected. And then just that last bolt right there. All right, guys, so I just got the rear subframe off. You guys saw that I was having problems getting off this e-brake right here. So you guys can see in here, I started disconnecting a lot of things, and obviously I didn't know at first, but you can go on here by your e-brake and then you can disconnect the line. It's a lot easier than before. I was trying to take off both of these lines right here. You guys can see, but I just took the whole thing off, so that's off. Everything's disconnected. We're having some trouble getting off the drive shaft. I had to bang it out a little bit, but it's banged out now. Off. I'm putting the drive shaft back in, but you guys can see it's pretty clean. Even Justin was saying it's not that bad. So we're just gonna wire wheel everything up, make it all look all clean and nice. It's not bad. You guys can see where the bad rust spots are here, there, and then obviously since the rear subframe's out, I'm gonna touch up some things, redo all the bushings, and then also probably put some new rotors, clean up these shocks a little bit, make them look nice. Probably gonna hose it down right now, make it look all clean and good. But yeah, we're freaking ready to rock, man. Get this car done. Right now we're working on getting this wide body kit on right now, and we'll be decent. Sorry about that, guys. My phone ended up dying. Anywho, yes, the rear subframe is off, and we are replacing all of the bushings on the rear subframe. So we're going with poly bushings, obviously are the best to be used. And then I'm hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I might, I don't know, but I might powder coat the rear subframe, not sure yet. Definitely a lot of things that have to be replaced on here. Some things I'm gonna keep, obviously, because they're expensive. You know, diff, probably just gonna clean it up and then paint it. Axles, probably gonna keep for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to get this done as fast as possible because I'm trying to get this thing out on the road. And also I'm trying to get those Nismo wheels test fitted. But once the underneath and everything is complete, let me show you what I'm working on right now. I'm working on wire wheeling the wheel wells right now. You guys can see this one's almost done. Then I'm gonna work on the other side, and then obviously underneath, debating if I should take off the gas tanks to really get underneath there. I'm not sure yet. Still debating on it. Definitely probably just gonna do like up to here. And I'm gonna do it into sections. So once this is done, rear subframe's on, then I'll probably work on, I don't know, probably work on the middle section now. Try to get all of this done, and then I'll save the two I'll save the two sides for later. Probably just work on the middle, because these sides I can work on any time. And then it's really mainly just the middle section where the drive shaft is at. But yeah, that's my goal. I plan on doing that. And then, yeah, we'll be pretty much ready to rock. Like I said, I'm pretty much going to use neutralizer. I'm going to use primer, neutralizer, primer, and then the truck undercoating too. So I'm gonna be using all that. As I was starting to wire wheel, kind of just started to pick up a lot of the rust and kind of made this hole right here. Tiny little hole. I'm probably gonna finish off cutting most of the rust off. I don't know, cutting most of that rust in there. And then I'm going to kind of just had an idea. Probably just use a fender. And then I'm kind of just gonna cut a little slice out of an old fender that I got laying around, and we're just gonna pretty much just weld that right in. So that's my plan for that. And then obviously all up in here, like all in here has to be cleaned up and ready. So it's definitely, it's gonna take some time for sure. And then you guys can see under here too, all this has to get cleaned up, all of it. So once all that's cleaned up down here, we'll be ready to rock. You can see the tanks right there. Little spots over there where the rust is at. Bolts, all hardware is gonna be replaced. But yeah, guys, so that's the plan with the G35. E36, started taking apart the bumper, passenger side fender, and then the hood as well. So I can really see the damage that was done to the front end. Like I said, it's not bad, just the things that's gonna have to be straightened out. Obviously, I'm probably not gonna be able to do all the body work myself, but I'm gonna try to do most of it. So I was kind of going underneath there in the wheel well, kind of heating it up with a torch, kind of pounding it in. Yeah, we'll see how that goes with the E36 and then G35. Like I said, I'm trying to get this done. Kind of want this thing to be officially rust free. You know, it just has surface rust. It's really not that bad though. Everything else front is pretty good. It's just the rear that I'm more worried about. So once I get all that cleaned up, obviously since I have this out, I don't have to do the bushings, but I want to. So I'm gonna take care of that, handle the bushings, and then everything else is good. Obviously axles are fine. Axles are fine, differential's fine. And then later on, I'll work on getting new coilovers. Obviously, I want some BC Racing coilovers. Obviously, everything is very expensive, so I'll kind of just have to go little by little, and eventually, I'll have everything. So you guys can see the shocks right here. Gonna have to order new rubber pieces. You guys can see it's a little chewed up there, so I'm gonna have to do that, and then obviously just clean everything up. Really don't want anything rusty going back on. Obviously this right here, probably have to just wire wheel it real good. But yeah, you can see these coils are definitely a little chewed up. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I wanna have it done by like September, but who knows? I'm trying to have it done as fast as possible. Well, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I don't like these coils, but I kind of just have to deal with it. But again, I don't want to make more problems. And if I do wire wheel all this off, it just looks pretty thick with rust. Definitely, I just don't want to put anything rusty back onto something that's rust-free, you know, and then it just causes other problems later on. But you guys can see this side too. Kind of started wire wheeling it, but yeah, a lot of things are gonna have to be straightened up in here. Wire wheeled tons and tons. I'm grabbing tons and tons of neutralizer. I'm gonna just neutralize the whole thing, even though I'm hopefully gonna be able to get everything, all the rust off. I highly doubt it. There's probably gonna be a little something left over. Obviously, that's when I'm gonna hit the neutralizer, and then I'm gonna get the primer, rust primer. I'm gonna get all that stuff, and then hit it with the truck undercoating. So this thing's gonna be locked and loaded. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video, showing you guys how to take off the rear subframe on a G35. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. Hopefully you guys can do that on your 350Z or a G35. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the channel. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.